Okay, welcome back to my channel, everybody. I'm just gonna jump right into it, right into the story time. If you watched the last, I was going to say last week's episode, if you watched the last video, then you probably know what's about to come up next. This topic is I would say controversial. This topic brings up anxiety for me, but I know that it's a part of telling this story, telling my story, and ultimately healing in my personal healing process. And so, my hope is if it's aiding in mine, it should be hopefully aiding in yours as well. So, I'm gonna jump right into it. Okay. Before I go in depth about my personal experience, I just want to give a disclaimer that marijuana does not affect everyone the same way. However, I do believe that people who have experienced the consumption of marijuana do share relatable experiences or feelings about the psychotropic plant. Here's a bit of my journey explained. When I began partaking in the usage of marijuana, it was initially a social thing, which then led to a more intimate personal relationship with myself. I can honestly say that it purely aided in the discovery of some of the best and worst parts of myself. Marijuana heightened my senses, ultimately playing a major part in my overall healing process. Towards the beginning of my journey with marijuana, I became a lot more intuitive and mindful. Naturally, I've always been a bit of an overthinker for as long as I can remember, even back to my younger years of high school. I found that when consuming THC, especially in my alone time, I was a bit more at ease. I loved the feeling it brought into my life. It seemed that I unleashed the power of my authentic self. Coincidentally, around the same time I moved into my first apartment, I remember feeling so free. I sang, I danced, I meditated, I recorded myself more, and releasing my inner thoughts and quirkiness. I truly fell in love with the essence of me. Cat Williams said it best. There is an ingredient in weed called fuck it. And once you tap into that part of yourself, the self love becomes addictive. At least it was for me. When I was alone and high, I was so happy and carefree. I began discovering the best parts of myself. Marijuana aided in my it, marijuana aided in relaxing as well as stimulating my mind, my state of mind for the better. When alone, I had the clarity of being more at peace with myself for who I was naturally. However, I had underlying fears of what others thought of me, which in hindsight now I feel was so silly. I hadn't ever had recollection of having low self-esteem before in my past, but anxieties formed in relation to my consumption of marijuana based on what I thought the world had to say about it. Fear of judgment from my parents and the projection of my image outwardly while being under the influence of THC only enhanced those negative feelings. It was something I knew I had to personally overcome in order to live within my truth. Those fears challenged me and stunted my growth primarily because I continued to allow it. I believe now, especially after becoming a mother, that I've stepped into a liberation. I've stepped into a liberating relationship with myself. Now, for the betterment of myself, my future, and my son's life, I had to set those fears aside to come more into alignment of who I am. I fully had to let go in order to find my peace, balance, and harmony on all levels. This knowing helped me and is still helping me to heal those wounds of judgment. All facts. Okay, looking back on my beginning stages of becoming more intuitive, I began sensing a spiritual presence within and around me. It was as if I could feel things within my soul deeper than ever before. I know now that it was meant that it just, sorry. I know now that it just meant that I was tapping into the goddess slash divine light within me. Different cues seemed to begin to emerge, and perhaps they had been there all along. It's just that now I was more aware due to, sorry, it was just now that I was more aware of them due to my intuitive senses being heightened while under the influence. Things such as noticing certain times of the day daily, like 11:11 or 3:33 or 9:11 or 7:11, or spiritual guides in animals, noticing repetitive number sequences like 777 or 888. Instinctively, I knew I was noticing these little things more and more for a substantial reason. I began to do my own research about numerology, astrology, and vibrations. Ultimately, this led to my development of a spiritually and deeper knowledge of self. I knew I wasn't the only one in the world who had experienced these things, and this was the universe's way of leading me to a deeper perspective of knowing my spiritual side. When I began to find answers, I allowed newfound knowledge to comfort me and build me up. I can proudly say that THC played a part in this personal revelation. Now, this is not to say that without marijuana, run that back. Okay, now this is not to say that without marijuana, I wouldn't have gotten to this point. However, this was just my personal experience and path. Ever since my perspective had been heightened, or as some people would say amongst the spiritual community, my third eye had opened and becoming quote unquote woke. This new inner knowing led me to a deeper development of spiritual growth and angelic guidance. Gaining an understanding of my personal connection to the spiritual realm is what anchors my source of faith and trust in the universe and overall love and happiness within myself for the betterment of me and others. And that is the marijuana chapter. The next chapter is going to dive into, so you guys don't want to miss it. Thank you for watching and being a loyal and returning subscriber to my channel. I said that this topic was a bit anxiety written for me. Um, I got goosebumps right now still talking about it, and you can kind of hear my voice kind of quivering because it makes me nervous. But I'm not gonna let it stop me from doing what I feel like I have to do to help whoever needs it. Leave me some feedback in the comments if you can relate to having to overcome fear of being judged. I'm gonna cry. But yeah, let me know what your personal experience was like or is like if you are 420 friendly. If you indulge in cannabis, marijuana, THC, if you feel that it has had a positive impact on your life. I only want to keep good energy and positive energy flowing, so please, nothing negative unless it's a part of your story that overall helped you become better. Um, yeah. If you guys want to hear a special story time about the day or moment that I experienced my third eye opening for the first time, let me know in the comments and I will gladly do a separate video or a story time about that. It's something that's really, really close to me, and I don't share that experience with a lot of people, but for some reason I just feel like it may be time to. So I don't want to make this video too long, but I do want to say that you are not alone if you are dealing with challenges of anxiety or overcoming judgment or, overcoming fear. It's okay. I'm with you. I am here. And we can ultimately heal together, ultimately healing the world in the process. We can't heal the world unless we heal ourselves. Also, my website is open and I will be sure to link it down in the description below. You can purchase Back to Me now online through my Shopify website. It launched on Mother's Day and I am just so, so proud. But I hope that this video finds you and helps you and guides you and uplifts you for the better. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Okay. Bye.